Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Ekalio, and this video is on the prophecy of World War III, alright, and other various topics potentially, alright, and another update regarding the current situation that's going on between Iran and the State of Israel. You know, these are the days where things are escalating very rapidly, heading towards Bible prophecy, and this situation going on between the State of Israel and Iran. These are major players in Bible prophecy regarding the World War III prophecy. And it says in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, the second woe is past, talking about World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is World War III. All right, so World War III is most certainly on the table, and what's happening right now is, to me, a very big leap in, you know, how this entire thing is going to play out, okay? Because, you know, for some time there has been situations like the State of Israel and what they're doing to Palestine, right? Or Ukraine versus and the Russia situation. But here it is right now that literally countries or major players that is a part of the World War III prophecy, those are the ones that are on the world stage right now. All right, the State of Israel, there's a precept that says the least of the flock shall draw them out, and it says that they will draw out Babylon being America, to go to war. So the State of Israel will be doing certain things that will cause America to go out to war. All right, and then you have on the other end their enemies, which is Russia, and then Russia's allies, and Russia's number one ally is Iran. Okay, and so that's why there are talks and articles such as this right here: no justification for attack on Iran. Putin, the Israeli and US strikes against Tehran are illegitimate and violate international law, according to the Russian president. Well, you know, we've heard about the violation of international law by way of what the State of Israel has done, right? I know I've heard that before, and I'm pretty sure one of the countries to even bring that to the forefront and to rebuke them for this is the country Turkey, which is a part of NATO. But Bible prophecy states that Turkey is going to be siding with Russia and her allies, okay? And they're pointed out very specifically in the scriptures, so they will have their part to play, okay? But here it is: Israeli and US hostilities against Iran are groundless and unjustifiable. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has told Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Garachi, the top Iranian diplomat who landed in Moscow and met with the Russian president on Monday, said earlier that the visit was needed for closer, more precise, and more serious consultations with Russia in the wake of the US strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, right? Because, you know, the State of Israel, they're striking Iran. Iran is retaliating. They're going back and forth right now, literally in real time. And then all of a sudden we're hearing that, you know, Trump is going to decide in the maximum of the next 2 weeks to decide if he's going to make a move on Iran. Lo and behold, just 2 days ago, over the weekend or whatever, we find out that America was a part of the strike. So America is officially a part of the situation. All right. So seeing as that it is the State of Israel attacking Iran, and then now America has joined in with them, Iran's going to need its defense, and the scriptures say that its defense is Russia. Now, in Ezekiel 38 and verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief priests of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, which is talking about the Russians, as they dwell in the land that Gog and Magog once dwelt. The Russians are Edomites, who are the so-called white people, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, which is the Russians, and I'll turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So the Lord is going to put the spirits on the Russians to go to war, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So Russia is going to be going to war with a great company, which is an alliance. And Russia's alliance, it says Persia, which the Persians are known as Iran today. Ethiopia and Libya, which are the African nations so-called, with them, all of them with sword and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. And so verse 6 there is talking about Turkey, right? And it's the same thing. They dwell in the land that Gomer and Togarmah once dwelt. Okay? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So the prophecy states that Russia is going to be going to war. Russia is going to be going to war with alliance members, and one of them are the Persians, which that is Iran. All right, and it also says in verse 6, Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is set to be a defense for its allies. Okay, so this is why you're seeing Russia go so hard for Iran. This is their number one ally. You know, the scriptures literally mention Persia first, and then literally by way of what we're seeing in the world, Russia's number one ally is for sure Iran. Okay, so it says, during the meeting at the Kremlin, Putin described the attacks on Iran as an unprovoked aggression for which there can be no justification. The actions of Israel and the U.S. are illegitimate and violate international norms, he said. The Russian leader noted that he was glad to see Aragchi in Moscow, saying that his visit would allow Russia and Iran to discuss these pressing issues and jointly to think about a way out of the current situation, right? They're aligned together. They're working together. So Russia's going to do whatever it takes. And the way the situation is right now, it's looking like, you know, this part right here in Ezekiel 38 and verse 7, where it says, Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. That Russia, you know, it may be that time in prophecy where Russia jumps to the guard of its ally and its main ally in Iran, but we shall see. Okay, but they've made their stance very clear regarding the situation. They have stated that it is breaking international law. They're seeing the attack as illegitimate, and so we're going to have to see what they have next. Top Iranian diplomat expects critical talks with Putin. So I'm not sure if this one came first or after, but you know, it's the same thing again. Given the current exceptional circumstances in the region, it is essential that Iran and Russia engage in closer, more precise, and more serious consultations, right? Because they're getting ready, and serious consultations to me reads like war. And, you know, I'm concluding that, or I'm drawing that conclusion because I'm thinking by way of Bible prophecy, right? What is supposed to happen, you know, all these kinds of things as it is written. And we're seeing everything build up very quickly. Okay, so we shall see, because this thing is constantly updating right now. Okay, as you can see, there's live updates, and this live update, Iran and Israel exchange strikes. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz has said that Tehran is being attacked with unprecedented force. So Iran is being attacked with unprecedented force. And what's that going to cause, man? That's going to cause for eventually, at some point, Russia to jump to its defense, right? To thwart their enemies away from them. Iran and Israel have exchanged strikes a day after the US joined the Israeli bombing campaign by targeting Iranian nuclear facilities. Tehran has vowed to retaliate, leaving all options on the table. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Vice President J.D. Vance warned Iran against making the big mistake of closing the Strait of Hormuz, after Iran's press TV reported on Sunday that the national parliament had approved a measure to shut the strategic waterway, through which around 20% of global gas and gases exported. So, this is serious, okay? This is serious regarding the escalation of it all, because once they do this, truly the global gas inflation, that's gonna spike. But I'm pretty sure that they even said it before. Like, I think I saw it on the news that they were saying, like, even before this information came out, that they were talking about, because of the situation, that gas is gonna start raising quickly. Okay, but it's not just going to be gas, because World War brings about terrible times, horrible times. Let's see, World War II. World War II was 1939 to 1945. Let me see. Great Depression. 1929 to 1939. Oh, okay. So the Great Depression actually came right before World War II. All right. So, I mean, the thing about it is that history has shown that war brings about, very horrible and terrible times. And, we're heading into the time of Jacob's trouble, right? This thing has started. And regarding Bible prophecy, all the major players are at hand, right? But things still have to the mark of the beast prophecy, which is the microchip, has to be fulfilled. So while all of these things are going on, and this is some really serious stuff, right? And then you relate it to Bible prophecy, and it's very pertinent. But also, you have to always keep in mind the mark of the beast prophecy, which is that microchip. Okay, the destruction of America and the salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel, which is the return of our Lord Yahushai, right? It will not occur until the mark of the beast prophecy is made fully manifest. Okay, and Yahushua let us know the things that we'll see before his coming, and truthfully, we haven't even hit that point where he said these are the beginning of sorrows. We're in it now, you know what I'm saying, but it's still building up, because there, the wars and rumors of wars, yes, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom, yes, the earthquakes, yes, but the pestilences and the famine, those are the things to look out for, especially the famine, right? Because it says these are the beginning of sorrows. So this kind of Strait of Hormuz thing and whatever else, just a situation of war is going to cause economic, or can cause economic devastation and catastrophe. Okay, but this is just a situation at hand, and you've been warned. Okay, because things are really escalating very quickly, and it's only a matter of time. But that microchip, though, is a thing to be looking out for, and the system being implemented for it, if you want to try to keep up with it. If the Spirit inspires you to. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, right? So who's our creator? Yahweh Shemishai, all right? And what's the time that's coming? Jacob's trouble. Times are terrible now, but times are going to be much, much worse, right? Remain circumspect, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, perilous times in the last days, all right? While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, right? The keepers of the house, those who watch the economy, they're going to tremble, because the day is going to come where there's going to be, in fact, economic collapse, and the money is going to fail, as it did in ancient Egypt, right? In ancient Egypt, the money did fail. Okay, so in modern day Egypt, which is America, America has been is known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. All right, America is going to experience that as well. So it is going to crash. And what is one way that can cause it to crash very rapidly or to accelerate it? War. Okay. And the grander seas, because they're few, so people are going to be losing work as well. That's going to cause, more depression, more hell, more stress. And those that look out of the windows be dark, and they're going to look out of the windows and it's going to be dark because they don't have no hope. And this is what's going to happen to our people that don't believe for the days that are coming, right? Because if you don't have no faith in Yahweh Shemishah, then there's no way you're going to be able to get through what we're all about to be going through, okay? And it's going to be brutal, extremely so. The Lord calls it Jacob's trouble, okay, a time like never before upon us. So, for those that don't believe, they'll see the situation at hand and all they'll see is just darkness and no way out. And that kind of mindset can lead to all sorts of things. But this is just a situation at hand, man. And, more will certainly come. More definitely is coming because we're in that time. Every day taught, there's so much going on. Okay? So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashim Kodesh. Shalom.